Knock it out!
What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and this is going to be a video about how to build a bigger back in the gym. And why do you need a bigger back? Because that's how you pull people across the table.
Yep, and the deadlift is the best exercise you can do to achieve that goal.
Definitely. It's definitely the best back building exercise. It's one of the best all-around strength building exercises. It just gets your body working on so many different levels. Everybody should do it as long as they can, for as long as they can, because It's a great exercise.
So let's start with teaching you how to do it properly, because it can fuck you up if you do it improperly.
Yeah, especially if you try going too heavy and it feels good, because it's like such a brutish thing to do, just pulling a bunch of weight off the floor. But again, you got to do it properly. So the first thing, feet shoulder width apart, and you want to line the bar up about the center of your foot. So that's going to be a little different for most people, but it's around where the instep of your foot curves up. You just want the bar to sit over that part of your foot.
Start there, and then find what feels comfortable to you.
Yeah, the goal is to have the bar, if you'll notice here, it's going in a relatively straight line up Alex's legs. The ideal thing is a straight bar path, so that's what we're trying to achieve.
You'll know you're doing it right if you have scrapes all over your calves.
All over your shins. You should feel the bar scraping your shin a little bit. So the next thing is arms straight down, and you're going to be in kind of a crappy position, and then you're going to pull yourself down towards the bar. And the important part is that you want your hips below your shoulders, and you want your back to be flat.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can round and kind of push forward your upper back a bit, but you want your lower back and the angle between your shoulders and your butt to be flat.
Exactly. And I use that hinging motion from that shitty position right here to get into a good position. I use that movement to engage my back and my legs.
Yeah, you kind of pull yourself into the bar here. So as he pulls himself down, he's kind of using the weight on the bar to get himself in a good position. And then once he feels nice and tight in a good position, he's going to drive with his legs into the floor. That's going to get the bar moving. Once it gets over his knees, it's just drive the hips through and lock out. And that is a pretty good looking deadlift.
Oh yeah,
not bad. All right.
So now we're gonna move on to pull-ups.
Yeah, and pull-ups are probably the most popular back exercise for arm wrestlers. And we're gonna show you a few different variations. We're gonna start with your sort of textbook way to do them, where you got a full range of motion, locked out at the elbows, and really stretching out your scapulas at the bottom.
Yeah, and full range of motion is always gonna be the best for hypertrophic results. There's just more time under tension, so you're gonna engage more muscles.
Yeah. And that's just going to make your body grow more.
Exactly.
But if you want to get a little bit more specific, and let's say maybe you can't do sets of pull-ups yet, but you can do a few, you're going to use the pull-down machine like I am here. And I'm doing a little bit more arm wrestling specific, where I've got my hands more in a cup position. The weight is deep in my hand, so it feels like I'm cupping it, and I'm not really letting my elbows lock out. I'm keeping them bent the way that I would want them to be at the table, but I'm trying to engage my scapula and really use my back as much as possible to move the weight.
Yeah. So now I'm going to show you another more arm wrestling specific variation on the pull-up bar again. So now I've got my thumb wrapped around the bar like I would be at the table, and I'm doing partial range of motion with my shoulders rolled forward, just like I would be at the table. And these are great for dynamic work and also static work.
Yeah. And now moving on to rows, because rowing is that, pulling people across the table movement, and there is no better way to work that movement than a barbell row. It's just again, it engages the most muscles, so it makes you grow the most, and just makes you massive.
Yeah, so a thing to note here is that it's a similar position that you would be when you're deadlifting, but the bar is a little rolled out further away from your legs. And when you're pulling the bar towards you, think about driving with your elbows and not your hands, and that'll engage your lats much more efficiently.
Exactly. Your hands are just kind of hooking the weight, and then you're really pulling, like you can see Alex's elbows really reaching past his back. That's him pulling with his elbows, which is what's going to engage your back so much. And again, if you're uncomfortable with the barbell row, or you just prefer the seated machine, or maybe you have some back impingements or a hernia like I do, the seated row machine is a great way to go. And the main goal that I'm thinking about when I'm doing seated rows is to not hinge at the hips, or hinge as little as possible, and to have all the range of motion coming from my scapulas. So I heard Ronnie Coleman once say that you imagine you have wings attached to your scapulas, and you're just trying to flap your wings like you were trying to fly.
Yeah.
And that really, really engages your back.
Alright guys, that's the video. We hope you liked it. If there's any other exercises that you'd like us to break down now that we're in the gym, please let us know.
And yeah, we will see you next time. Monkeys out.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Well, if they want to. I tried to save it. That was